Namaste everyone. How are you all? I hope everyone is fine over there. Students, do you remember our previous class? What had we done in our previous class? Okay, do you remember the topic? Yes, you do, isn't it? We had gone for life cycle of a butterfly. Let me recall the chapter in short, okay? Life cycle of a butterfly. It is called a complete metamorphosis because it completes its life cycle in 4 stages, that is egg, larva, pupa, and then finally it turns out to be an adult butterfly, isn't it? Egg, at first butterflies, since they are oviparous, they lay eggs on the leaves, yes, and then the eggs finally hatch out to be a larva, and the larva is also known as caterpillar. The larva of a butterfly is also known as caterpillar. The larva or a butterfly, it eats a lot. That's why the larva is also known as voracious eater, since it eats a lot. And before it turns out to be a pupa, it does not move or it does not eat anything. And finally it hangs itself on the branches or on the leaves of the trees or leaves of the flowers, right? And since it turns out to be the pupa, the outer covering of the pupa is also known as puparium or cocoon as well. And that pupa finally it turns out to be an adult butterfly. The adult butterfly that just emerged out from the puparium, from the pupal stage, is known as imago. Okay, and after it turns out to be an adult butterfly, it cannot move since its wings get attached with each other, and since they are wet they cannot fly. But after some time, when the wings they get dried, they can fly. In this way, the life cycle of a butterfly is completed within 4 stages. That's what we had talked in our previous classes, right? Now, students, taking all of you to today's topic, it is related to health education, okay? And regarding health education, we are going to learn exercise, rest and sleep in today's class, okay? But before moving on to this topic, let me drag your attention towards the new words written on the board, okay? Okay, see here, the new words. Number 1, it's physical. Number 1, physical. Physical means connected with a person's body. That is, if it is related with our body, then it means physical. Okay. Number 2, mental, connected with mind. Regarding the mind, the thinking capacity that is related to our mind, and it is called mental. Then number 3, adequate, means enough in quantity, that is in limited amount, that is in sufficient amount. Enough in quantity, how much it is required, only that much, okay, that is adequate. Number 4, sound. Sound means I am also talking now, I am producing a sound, isn't it? But here next sound, I am talking about next sound. We need sound environment to have a good sleep. That means in good condition, that is environment to sleep must be silent, okay, that is sound environment, that is in good condition, that is sound. And number 5, obesity, means very fat. Very fat means it is said as obesity, okay. And finally number 6, irritable, getting annoyed easily. Getting annoyed easily, that means not able to control the anger, okay, in angry mood, that is irritable. If something happens time and again, or something is caused time and again, then we get irritated, isn't it? That means we are getting annoyed. We are getting angry, that is irritable. Okay. Now students, taking you to the topic exercise, rest and sleep. What do you do to maintain good health? How do you remain yourself fit and healthy? We may eat adequate amount of balanced diet. We may consume adequate amount of balanced diet. Or some of us, we may perform various activities also, isn't it? So we do various activities in order to keep ourselves fit and healthy. Exercise means, what is exercise? Exercise, it can be defined as the set of movements or activities that we perform to remain healthy and strong. The various activities that we perform to keep ourselves healthy, strong, fit and fine are called exercises. Okay, and it includes the movement of our different parts of our bodies. It includes the movement. It is the set of movements or activities that we perform to remain healthy and strong. Okay, and regular exercise is very healthy, to keep ourselves healthy also. Every one of us, we wish to be a healthy person, isn't it? Healthy person. What kind of person are called healthy person then? The person who is physically and mentally fit from all the aspects are called healthy person. Physically related with person's body, whose body seems very fit, and mentally means connected with mind, whose mind also must be fit. That is, those persons are said to be healthy person. And every one of us, we wish to be healthy person. We carry out various things, we carry out various measures to keep ourselves healthy as well, isn't it? Okay, there are various advantages of regular exercise. If we take the exercise, if we perform the exercise regularly, then there are a lot of advantages of regular exercises. But exercise for a certain period of time may harm us. Okay, so talking about the advantages of regular exercise, in number 1, it would be, it improves the working of muscles and organs. It improves the working of muscles and organs. How does it improve? Let's see. Okay, exercise builds and strengthens muscles which can protect the bones from injury and support and protect joints. Regular exercise, it helps to protect our joints. And also, strong muscles also give stability and improve balance and coordination in our body also. It also helps to maintain the coordination among the different organs of our body, so that we can say it improves the working of various muscles and organs of our body, since it develops the coordination between different types of organs. Okay, and number 2, it helps us to play and work for a long period of time. If we get healthy, then we can do every activities with active participation, isn't it? And we don't get tired easily also. We can play or we can work for a long period of time if we perform regular exercise. Then number 3, it increases the frequency of breathing and enhance blood circulation. It develops the frequency of breathing. That means it also helps us in breathing and also helps us in blood circulation, in circulation of the blood. It strengthens our heart and improves the circulation. That is, it makes our heart strong and it improves the circulation of the blood. The increased blood flow raises the oxygen level in our body. It also helps to raise the level of oxygen in our body. That helps us in circulation of the blood. our heart, it can pump the blood in a very good way. Okay, so it also increases the frequency of breathing and enhance blood circulation. Then number 4, it helps to keep our lungs, heart and muscles healthy. Heart, lungs and muscles healthy. That is, heart helps us to purify our blood or to pump the blood, isn't it? And lungs, it helps us in breathing. Yes, so regular exercise, it helps to keep our lungs, heart and muscles healthy. Regular exercise lowers the risk of heart diseases. It lowers, that is, it decreases the risk of heart diseases, and also it also helps to lower blood pressure as well. It maintains our blood pressure. There won't be high or low blood pressure. It helps us to maintain our blood pressure in level. Okay, and it also lowers the risk of heart disease. Similarly, number 5, it helps to burn excess fat in the body and prevents obesity. Obesity means very fat, isn't it? So, if our body is very fat and if regular exercises are conducted, then regular exercises help us to lose excess amount of fat that is in our body. And also, exercise increase our blood flow and help to work off those extra calories. That is, work off means to lose extra calories. Weight training will turn those fat cells into healthy muscles. Regular exercise help us to lose the calories, help us to lose excess amount of fat of our body, and so that we can lose obesity, that is, we can lose our weight. Understood? Now, let's move on to next topic, that is point number 6. Regular exercise enables the body to withstand stress and helps us to get relief from tension and stress. Okay, it enables, that is, it enables the body to withstand stress. If we are stressed, if we are suffering from any kind of tensions, then the regular exercise help us to relieve from all those stress and our mind would be free. That is, regular exercise such as walking or jogging involves repetitive movement of large muscles that helps to stress relieving, that helps in stress relieving. If we are engaged in regular exercises such as walking, jogging, then our mind gets concentrated on those exercises only. We won't get concentrated towards the stress that we have, so that it is the best way of relieving our stress and to be free from any sort of tension as well. It can lower stress and anxiety. Understood? Now, let's move on to point number 7. That is, it helps to increase digestive capacity. The food that we eat must get digested, isn't it? And regular exercise helps in increasing digestive capacity also. Exercising increases blood flow towards the muscles and digestive tract, which can help move food through the digestive tract, so that it helps in digestion of the food. We can digest the food easily. Okay, now let's move on to the last point, that is, I have mentioned it as last point, but you can add other points if you know. Okay, and number 8, it says it helps to develop self-confidence. It helps to develop self-confidence. That is, we will be confident on our own. Like, regular exercise helps in building self-confidence by improving our body image. The people who are engaged in exercise, the image of their body looks very smart, attractive as well. So we can easily strengthen and also tone our body, that is give shape. It gives shape to our body, isn't it? And seeing these results can greatly improve our self-confidence and help us to feel better about the way we feel as well. If our body looks very good, what happens? We even feel proud on ourselves. We feel that our body is too good, so that it helps to develop our self-esteem, self-confidence. Also, regular exercises, it includes various activities, isn't it? Like walking, jogging, running, swimming, yes, skipping, and all of these activities, when they are performed, like dancing, it is also a kind of exercise. And dancing, when it is performed, there will be lot of audience around us, isn't it? And dancing in front of many people, that means that you are confident on your own way. That's why you are able to perform the dance in front of many people, isn't it? So in that way also it develops our self-confidence. Okay students, what did we discuss? We discussed on the term exercise, and we discussed on advantages of exercise. Try to recall all the points that we have discussed on advantages of exercise right now. Okay, I'll be recalling at the end of this class as well. Now the next term is rest. What is rest? After we work for a long period of time, we feel very tired, right? And we want to take some rest. We don't want to do anything at that moment. We just want to take rest. We just want to be away from all those works for certain period of time, isn't it? So students, rest, it can be defined as the period of relaxing, sleeping or doing nothing after a period of activity or illness. Not only after working for a long period of time, but still when we feel sick also, at that time also rest is required. Whenever we are not well, we are unwell, we feel like taking rest, we feel like sleeping, we feel like doing nothing, isn't it? So that condition of our body, when we do not want to do anything, or we want to sleep, or doing nothing after a long period of activity or illness, it is known as rest. Okay, and sleep is also a kind of rest. Here the next term is sleep. Here sleep, it is also a kind of rest. Let me define sleep. Sleep is the natural state of rest in which we close our eyes. While sleeping, we close our eyes, isn't it? We close our eyes, the body is not active. Whenever we are sleeping, we just lie down on our bed wherever we feel comfortable. Yes, but we don't do anything at that time. And the mind is also not conscious. Our mind is also not conscious at that time. That means we don't know whatever we are thinking. We don't try to think anything. So sleep, it is the natural state of rest in which we close our eyes, the body is not active, and the mind is also not conscious. The mind is also not in conscious state. Okay, and it is the best way of taking rest. Okay, taking a rest and getting enough sleep are equally important to maintain good health as well. In order to maintain good health, we must take rest as well as sleep also. Both of them, they are equally important. Rest and sleep help to overcome tiredness and restore energy to the body as well. They help us to restore the energy, that is regain the energy. Okay, after we work for a long period of time, we obviously want to take rest, and whenever we take rest or whenever we sleep, it helps us to regain the energy, and it also helps to overcome the stress. We become tired and irritable if we do not get adequate rest and sleep. Our body parts cannot work for a long time without rest. Therefore, we need adequate rest and sleep. Like in the previous topic, just before some time, we discussed on advantages of exercise. In the similar way, rest and sleep are also equally important for us, because they help us to overcome our stress, and they also help us to regain our energy. We can also help ourselves to bring our mind in constant stage. We won't get irritable if we are taking proper amount of rest and sleep. While taking a rest and sleeping, our body produces less heat and the rate of breathing heartbeat decreases. And also, whenever we sleep, our room, the room where we sleep, must be sound and silent as well. Also, the posture of our body must be straight, that is the hands, our hands and legs also must lie straight on the bed while we are sleeping, because it helps in the proper circulation of the blood. But if our legs are not straight, then it disturbs the circulation of the blood. So the circulation of the blood cannot go well. And also, students, the sleeping hour of the person varies according to the age group. Let us discuss on the age group, okay? The newly born babies, the babies who are just born, they sleep about 18 to 20 hours a day. They sleep for 18 to 20 hours a day. Similarly, children, they sleep for 8 to 10 hours a day. Now here the sleeping hour is decreased, isn't it? When the age group is increased, the sleeping hour is decreased. Newly born babies, they sleep 18 to 20 hours, whereas children, they sleep for 8 to 10 hours a day. In the similar way, healthy young adult, the person who are adult, we have already turned out to be an adult, they sleep for 6 to 8 hours a day. Here again 6 to 8 hours. The sleeping time is decreased, right? And finally, old aged people, they sleep for 5 to 7 hours a day. 5 to 7 hours, old aged people. So, newly born babies 18 to 20 hours a day, whereas old aged people, they sleep only 5 to 7 hours a day. What we can say is, along with the increase in our age, the sleeping hours, it gets decreased. Okay, it depends upon the responsibility we have as well. And there should be the room, as I talked earlier, the room where we sleep must be sound and silent. In our room, there should be circulation of fresh air. We should sleep without folding our legs and without covering the head as well. Also, our face also must be left uncovered. We should go to bed early and wake up early in the morning, as we do also have a saying, that is, early to bed and early to rise makes a person healthy, wealthy and wise. Okay, so students, from this chapter what we learned is adequate amount of regular exercise, adequate amount of rest and sleep are equally important to lead a healthy life. Okay, I guess you are clear. I hope you are clear about the advantages of exercise and also why rest and sleep are necessary for us. Okay, dear students, with the new topic. We'll obviously meet in our next classes. This much for today. Thank you everyone.